Trump's new mob boss just exposed major leaker, makes him pay for what he did against Trump. Anthony Scaramucci is acting like the mob boss of Washington and someone is about to get hit. Scaramucci recently tweeted about an alleged leak in the White House where someone released his financial information, which could technically be a felony. Scaramucci identified the potential leak, but then deleted the tweet shortly after posting it. No matter how fast he could delete the scandalous tweet, there was someone watching who grabbed a screenshot and shared it with the rest of the. Scaramucci named Chief of Staff Reince Priebus as the leak and demands an investigation. He's claimed to have contacted the FBI in hopes to further drain the swamp. At this point, is the swamp just becoming a bigger swamp? Or is it flushing out the rest of the people who aren't 100% dedicated to working with their president? Via the Washington Examiner. Anthony Scaramucci, the incoming White House communications director, said Wednesday evening that he will reach out to federal officials because of a financial disclosure leak, which he called a felony. In light of the leak of my financial disclosure info, which is a felony, I will be contacting at FBI and the Justice Dept, he tweeted, tagging White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus and adding the #swamp. He later deleted the tweet. While it's unclear why Scaramucci tagged Priebus, Priebus has been named as a potential leaker by some Trump supporters, like longtime confidant Roger Stone. If anyone is wondering, then the answer is yes. Scaramucci wants Priebus investigated, as confirmed by Ryan Lizzie of CNN, LOL, and The New Yorker. Kurt Schlichter seems to think Priebus' days are numbered. If there's nothing left to leak, then that's when people begin turning on him. It's a dog's world in the mainstream media and everyone wants a story. People will go after each other just go get ratings. Seems like there's no loyalty anywhere regarding politics and the media. People leaking info on each other, then stabbing each other in the back, or front, like the mooch, and all just to get a step ahead on the next guy. Though credited as the architect of Trump's election victory as RNC chair, Priebus has been dogged by constant issues in the White House that seem to leave the administration in perpetual disarray. Supporters of the president have openly questioned Priebus's commitment to Trump's agenda, and questioned whether or not he could be the source of numerous leaks. Priebus is in a tough spot. At one point he's considered an asset and weapon that took down Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. To go from being important to having one's loyalty questioned or being identified as a leak must be the worst possible situation for Priebus to be in. One has to wonder what's going on in the White House if people are leaking information, turning on each other, and talking about getting stabbed in the front or back. What we need now is a real leak that gives us the absolute truth. Is the White House turning into a swamp? Or is it draining the swamp? What direction are things really going behind closed doors? Have the Democrats latched onto someone like a tick and won't let go? If so, then do they have something of interest that a Republican doesn't want leaked? One also has to ask that if Priebus is a leak, then what does he get out of leaking information? What's the benefit? Is there any gain made, or is he simply being vindictive because he's like Sean Spicer and disagrees with the appointment of Scaramucci? Scaramucci recently addressed the topic of backstabbing in the White House and suggested that he's more of a front stabber, which means that he would rather tell someone to their face how he feels instead of talking trash behind their back and leaking information. It's good if people are confrontational to each other and not holding it in or keeping private conversations without the person there. If people in Washington want to make serious progress, then they should address problems right away, to each other, and solve them immediately. When internal problems are solved, then external progress can be made. At this point, the Republicans can't even put forward an acceptable health care resolution to replace Obamacare. We keep getting Obamacare light. Obamacare was an expensive disaster. America needs real affordable health care. Force members of Congress to use the same plans we use and healthcare would be fixed in 5 minutes or less. Healthcare is easy, just find a way to take care of everyone who contributes to society. If you're working, then you're covered and it comes out of your check. If you're leeching the system because you choose not to work, because you think making 8 babies is a better idea, then you're not covered. In fact, someone who has no job, nor has a job history, and is not looking for a job, shouldn't even be allowed to have kids. Having children is a beautiful miracle, but not if you're having them just so you don't have to go to work. And especially if you can't name the father. Our White House needs to get their act together. Stop hating each other. Stop leaking information. Start kicking some tail and doing a great job. Make White House great again. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe Breaking News 365 channel. Goodbye and see you again.